On today's show,
Russell Westbrook says tonight's game versus Kevin Durant is just another game. Do you buy it?
is DeRozan an MVP candidate? Does Wall deserve more respect? And move over, ESPYs, the NBA has its own award show.
And oh boy, Sam Decker hits the deck in a brand new edition of the Meme Team.
It's Thursday, November 3rd. The starter starts now!
Good evening, sweet world, and welcome to the starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast, joining us live right now on NBA TV, or a little bit later on YouTube, we're happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Millis.
The Cubs did to Cleveland!
To his right, the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, wearing a sweater today, because he can. Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lee, and last, certainly not least, over there, it's the bearded one. It's Trey Kirby.
Hey,
yo! TK, what do you got, man?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at hashtag the starters. And guys, tonight is the showdown that we've all been waiting for as Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook face off for the first time as opponents. Wow. It all goes down tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT when the Warriors take on the Thunder in Golden State. And as you can imagine, all eyes will be on the former teammates to see how they greet each other. For his part, KD says he's not shaking hands, telling ESPN's Chris Haynes, "I don't shake hands. That's something I've never done before a game. I just take the court to play. After the game, that's different." But it brings us to today's question. How should Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook greet each other tonight? Personally, I think that Russ should play it cool, go in all buddy-buddy for a handshake, then at the last second, pull it away.
Oh, psych!
Hey, buddy, give me a handshake. I don't think so. I don't know, it's just a major diss. But we want to hear from you, so let us know on Twitter. How should Westbrook and Durant greet each other tonight? Send us your best answers at hashtag the starters. We'll see them a little bit later.
All right, get those tweets in for TK. We got a fun show tonight. We got the Up-Down Report and a brand new edition of the Meme Team. But yeah, all eyes on Durant versus Westbrook and the Thunder versus the Warriors tonight. So let's play a specific version of Is This News? We're only looking at Westbrook, Durant, or Warriors Thunder headlines. Trey's rounded them up. He's going to pitch them to us, and we're going to determine not whether they're really, really, truly news, whether they warrant that title. Trey.
All right, our first headline comes from ESPN, and it says, Russell Westbrook downplays Warriors matchup. I play every game the same. Is this news?
No, it's not news, because he's withholding information from the media like players always do, because there's no way he thinks of it as the same game.
I agree with you.
There's no possible way.
So he's lying.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what players do, because they should. And because we all would if we had to face the media the same a day after day. But there's no way in a long season, this game where you played with a guy for that many years, you're not going to think of a little bit differently. It's not like KD going back to OKC, that's different. It's not like Russ left his team. You know, it's not quite that extensive when guys leave teams and they want to just stick it to teams. But Russ thinks of this entirely different.
It's a primetime matchup on a Thursday night on TNT. There's no way this feels the same as a Tuesday night in Minnesota in February or something like that. But that is the standard response from players because they don't want the media to try to go back and forth with the players to say, oh, he said this and he wants to do this and he wants to do this to you. So Russ is just trying to play like cool and say, look, listen, this game doesn't mean anything more, but we know what it's like when you're out there on the court, even when it's just at our level of playing basketball. You always want to beat your friends because there's more than just what happens on the scoreboard, which is important.
I would take it to another level. There's more than just the Durant leaving OKC and only sending a text to his buddy Russ and then the fallout. Let's not forget, OKC lost to the Warriors in pretty epic fashion in the Western Conference Finals, blowing the 3-1 lead. I mean, I would assume Westbrook wants to send a message. They're 4-0 after a big win over the Clippers last night as well. They're still rolling. They want this more than a Saturday matinee game against Philadelphia. Yeah. He's straight up lying to us because you're absolutely right. He sort of has to.
Yeah, and he's being smart, I think, because the media can't parse it. No TV show ever would make this a topic because of what he said.
All right, well, okay.
But it's good because, no one can parse it. He's a smart man.
All right, next headline here, Trey.
All right, our next headline also comes from ESPN, and it reads, Kevin Durant is still a fan of Russell Westbrook's game. Is this news?
This is not really news.
This isn't news at all.
I think it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't fall out. Kevin Durant just made a professional decision to go and play elsewhere. But why wouldn't he be a fan of Westbrook's game? Who isn't a fan of it?
If he's a basketball fan, then very likely you're going to be a fan of watching Russell Westbrook.
And sure, Westbrook takes a few bad shots, but that's the only knock on his game. Other than that, he's the type of player everybody wants on their team. He plays 100 miles an hour every single game. He never takes a play or a possession off. He's a good defender. He's a great offensive player. He's got so much to enjoy about his game. So yes, Durant's not going to say, I don't like his game anymore. He wants to watch him play.
Yeah, why I find it funny is if you read the quotes in the article, Kevin Durant was watching OKC and the Clippers last night, like all of us, and he was sitting there watching Russ go at it saying, oh yeah, Russ, go get him. Give it to him, Russ. That's why it was really funny.
Yeah.
Just this, pretend you're watching another NBA player, give it to him. Yeah, he's a fan of his.
Yeah,
he's more of a fan of the Golden State Warriors and everything that comes along with them.
Sure.
The entire package. He chose that package over the OKC package, but he's still a fan of Russ.
Yeah, again, he's a basketball fan, and I would say Westbrook is on the very short list, actually, of the list of what even casual fans would pay money to go see in terms of a player. You agree with that?
Yeah, for sure.
That Westbrook's at least, in that top 10 or that top 5 of I would pay a lot of money to go see that guy. And I think that's all Katie's saying here. And just because these two guys are meeting for the first time, headlines like this are, blown out of proportion, and then we blow them out of proportion even more. That's what the whole point of this
That's
is.
Exactly
this news
right. It's so much fun to do that.
Trey, next headline.
Our next headline comes from NBC Sports, and it says, Russell Westbrook apologized to the Thunder for influencing Kevin Durant into becoming edgier. Is this news?
I actually think this is news only because this is sort of a little nugget that we hadn't heard before.
Yeah, but it's a report.
It is a report. It's coming, I believe, from the Oklahoman.
Yeah, it's a small sort of little paragraph in a larger article.
Yeah, absolutely. But to break it down for you, it's apparently back at 2015 All-Star Game, Kevin Durant. Remember, he had some surly words for the media.
Yeah, you guys don't know expletive.
Yes, and which was a little out of character for Durant.
Sure.
And again, the report goes that even Westbrook was sort of taken aback by that when Katie said that, and sort of checked in on Katie and said, hey, are you all right? That's what I do. That's my thing. And then apologized to the Thunder, staff for saying I'm rubbing off on KD. This isn't KD. He's not like this.
Yeah.
He's trying to
So
be a
I'm
little bit.
sorry because I've rubbed off on him.
Well,
this is just a strange little tidbit.
Yeah, it's just. I think it is strange, but it's interesting look into sort of their personalities in a way. This is a bit more of a Westbrook thing, being surly, not wanting to answer any of these questions. Look, throughout this whole drama here, what has been happening? Durant has been doing all these interviews, talking nonstop about their relationship, what is, what isn't. Westbrook just says, I just want to play.
Yeah.
I don't want any more questions. I just want to play. To me, that is sort of like a microcosm of their personalities.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know them personally, but of what we see, at least their branded personality.
Royce Young wrote a great article when Kevin Durant signed with the Warriors saying how he could be influenced by other guys as well, and sometimes that's why Durant wanted to stay away from Westbrook, because once he'd made up his mind that he was joining the Warriors, he didn't want to then have his mind swayed, a bit like DeAndre Jordan was there from Dallas and the Clippers last year. So he is one of those guys that sometimes can be influenced by others, and when you see someone like Westbrook who doesn't really care about anyone else around you, that does rub off on you a while. And when you're in such a close-knit environment with everybody for such a long period of time, it's natural that you are going to start to sort of see a guy and see it works for him and go, I might start to adapting that sort of lifestyle too.
Yeah. My arms are hairier because we hang out.
I think we have time for one more headline.
No wonder you're wearing long sleeves today, Jesse. All right, final headline comes from Yahoo, and it reads, Russell Westbrook gets mad at media after Kevin Durant questions. Is this news?
No.
I think it's news.
What?
This proves he is human, because I think this is a hard part of an NBA player's job.
Yeah.
This is an annoying part. I know.
Just to be asked the same question over and over again.
I understand why people claim that NBA players, they have it all, but this is the worst part, because people don't care if they asked you the same question yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before. Media doesn't care about that. They want their story. It's annoying, and this proves Russell Westbrook, that man that we watch go 100 miles an hour every night, doesn't look like he's human. He's human.
He's got feelings. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
no. Remember last year though, when Steph Curry was going crazy and knocking in all those that game-winning shot against the Thunder, and the media were asking him about that game, and he's like, "I don't want to talk about other teams and other players. I want to talk about my guys and my team." And I can totally understand that, because you just don't. You get sick of hearing about all those other guys.
Just because I'm curious now, I can't shake this thought. Can we see your arms? Can we see how hairy your arms are?
Whoa!
We know Lee's. Tess, yeah. Ways to go, man.
Yeah, give me some of that.
I was going to say, Lee's actually not wearing a sweater tonight. That's just,
my hand's
just
caught.
topless. All right, that's gross. Let's take a break. When we come back, is DeMar DeRozan a legit MVP candidate, or am I taking crazy pills here? We're going to get into that and a whole lot more in the Up-Down Report. Back with the starters, right into the Up-Down Report, where we figure out where we stand on some hot-button NBA topics. We asked you to do the same on Twitter, hashtag the starters, thumbs up or thumbs down. It's as simple as that. All right, our first one, guys. DeMar DeRozan is on fire right now. The Raptors' all-star guard scored 40 points last night to beat the winless Wizards. Despite leaving the game briefly to get his ankles retaped, had a bit of a scare there, DeRozan was 14 of 23 from the floor. He cracked the 30-point mark for the fourth time in 4 games to start this season. So here's the question. Up or down on DeMar DeRozan as a legitimate MVP candidate? What do you think? Down.
I'm a sideways man myself.
Right now, if he were to keep doing the same thing, I think that's the question. Why wouldn't he be an MVP candidate?
Yeah, that's what I think. He's second in scoring right now. The Raptors are playing well. If he finishes in the top 5 and the team is a 1 or 2 seed, he's definitely in the mix. But on the other hand, is he really the Raptors MVP?
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry has been their best player the past couple of seasons.
Well,
he's on both sides of the ball. He's not shooting well yet, but you have to imagine he'll get it around. Come around. So it's just hard to say. Is DeMar DeRozan even the Raptors' best player?
Yeah.
He has been so far, but will he be at the end of the year? I don't know.
He keeps defying the analytics too by hitting these mid-range shots.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's fine because that's his game.
Yes.
And that's how he's become a 2-time All-Star. So it's working for him. But again, to be able to continue at this pace for the entire season, especially when you've got so many really good candidates for MVP this year, I don't think it's legit.
As a Raptors fan, I'm going thumbs down because I've been brutal when it comes to picking things right now, be it the World Series or any of our pick-and plays. I don't want to jinx anything with DeMar DeRozan, so I'm actually just staying away from this, saying no, he's not an MVP candidate. No, not a chance. He's been crazy good.
It's been ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he tied the Raptors record. Well, let's stay in Toronto land for consecutive 30-point games with 4. With what Raptor?
Oh, it's
I already said it. I already said it in the office today. The Vinces, the Bosches came out. It's Mike James.
Mike James.
Mike James. That 1 year, Mike James was on fire. Okay, I'm done.
Crazy. All right, moving on. Wizards point guard John Wall feels like he still hasn't got the respect he deserves around the league. In a preseason interview with SI.com's Andrew Sharp, the 3-time All-Star addressed his reputation nationally. Quote, "They still don't respect me. But I mean, that's something that comes with the games. You have career years when you're winning games, you start an All-Star game, and you're still not put on the top 3 All-NBA teams. That lets you know, but all I can do is control what John Wall does." Guys, you had a lot to say in this interview, again, with SI. Are you up or down on John Wall's respect me comments?
Whoa.
Wow, we're all in agreement.
John Wall, you mentioned, is a 3-time All-Star, and he started in one of those games. Fans do know and appreciate his game. But his team hasn't won enough games nationally over the last couple of years to really get that recognition. Also, it's a very, very deep position at point guard right now. The reason he hasn't gotten All-NBA is there's only 6 spots every year.
For guards in total. Yeah.
Exactly. And you look at some of the guards we've had lately, Steph Curry, Chris Paul, Westbrook, Lillard, Klay Thompson, James Harden, all these guys have had enormous seasons.
All those guys have won. That's the point. If you look over the last 3 years when John Wall has been an All-Star, the only guy that had less wins than the Washington Wizards was Damian Lillard last year when they had 44 wins, and they were a 5 seed. So they were up real high.
And that to me is the path, is John Wall has to have a great season and the Wizards have to play well, because last year was his best season statistically, and the Wizards took a step back. So if he can kind of figure out a way to have a great year and also the Wizards have a great year, he'll be an All-NBA guy like Lillard, I'd have to think.
You got to win 50 games. I mean, that's what it comes down to. They've won between 41 46 games. They missed the playoffs. It just doesn't work. It's like James Harden last year. The numbers were ridiculous.
Yeah, right. And
but
he
they're
didn't crack
a 500
All-NBA.
team.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And Wall's interesting because he puts up, great scoring numbers and great assist numbers. He's always one of the league leaders. But this year especially, turnovers are through the roof.
Yeah.
He's averaging 6.3 turnovers per game. I mean, he's hurting his team in that regards. He needs to get, cut those down, of course. That's the worst in the league. Again, he's an all-star talent, but that's hurting a team.
I think, the respect factor, I guess, that he's referring to is casual fans perhaps don't turn in to the Wizards game on League Pass. They want to see
These
other
are the
teams.
Wizards fans.
That's probably fair.
That was part of his comments, too, that the fans could be a little better.
But he just doesn't get the exposure of some of the other glamour teams. But again, that's just the way that he plays. Because he's a good defender as well. I mean, he plays both ends.
He made an all-defensive team.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. All right, final one here, guys, in the Up-Down Report. Earlier this week, the NBA announced that all major regular season awards will be televised on TNT during the first ever NBA award show. It's going to be a star-studded event, apparently. It'll recognize NBA players, teams, coaches, executives for their accomplishments and their performances from the 2016-17 NBA season. Are you up or down on an NBA award show?
This is good news.
Yeah, this is great.
Oh, come on. What?
I'll give you a couple reasons.
Okay.
All right. One, no chance this stuff doesn't get leaked. Gets leaked. It already gets leaked with all these awards that are spread out. I'm worried about that. I feel like people are already going to know before we even do this. The other thing is, I do find it a little strange that this is going to come after the finals. Like the finals is sort of like the end of the season.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have this. I feel like people may not be all that interested in it. And the other thing is, I'm not a fan of the award shows.
Oh, that's not true,
So-
man. You're always watching the Grammys. I'm seeing your internal tweets.
No,
You see what Christina Aguilera was wearing?
No.
No, never.
This is a
yeah,
good idea.
This is the way sports are going. I mean, they're sort of behind the other sports leagues in this regard. They're not really behind
Yeah,
other
in other
sports leagues
things.
in general, but they are behind all the other leagues when it comes to this. Their TNT personalities are going to be huge. It's going to be a lot of fun. Kia is going to get some great visibility. I
God.
heard the MVP winner is actually going to have to jump over a Kia, get the MVP toss to them, and they got to throw it down.
How many people you know watch the NFL award show?
No, I'll tell you how many watch the Australian Brownlow medal.
Yeah, let's hear this
Millions.
for sure.
I'm telling you, millions
People are
of people
gonna
watch it.
watch.
It's a night because
hope
they really
so. I hope it's
celebrate the
entertaining.
players, and that's what we should do. Celebrate the greatest players all in one night. It's a great idea.
Yeah, plus maybe we could host YouTube
Sure.
presenters, me and Lee working the red carpet.
I'm not gonna. I'm definitely.
I would love to work the red carpet with Trey Kirby.
You cannot work the red
Lee
carpet.
could wear his finest sweater.
I'm wearing shorts, that's for sure.
Welcome back. We asked you earlier in the show, how should Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook greet each other tonight? Trey, you got a few of the best answers from the people out there in the Twitterverse.
Yeah, some good answers like this one from Olvin, who says Kevin and Russell should have an uncomfortably long handshake mixed with some invasive eye contact. First to look away loses. Make it awkward. I love it. Garbage Time says they should each send forth a champion to greet on their behalf. A stern Pachulia Adams handshake. And Raleigh beat a lot of people to the punch with this one. Durant should send Russ a text letting him know he said hi. Zinger.
Keep the zingers coming. All right, guys.
Zinger's coming!
Every Thursday, we scour the internet to bring you the meme team. It's our favorite weird and wacky moments from the past 7 days.
Number 5 starts oh so sad. The Suns' Leandro Barbosa, well, he lost his dog Maya and used social media to help him. Please send this around.
Yeah.
She's an American Staffordshire. She's 2 years old and very kind, not aggressive at all. And there he is! Sergeant Don Bloom found Maya, that sweet, sweet girl. Maya is back. Leandro Barbosa is happy again.
Oh, that's cute. Great start. At number 4, James Harden in the scrum, answering questions from the 1930s.
Champ, you put the boys from Tinseltown really through the heebie-jeebies Wednesday night. How did it feel to play the one and really be on the trolley back in your hometown?
It was good.
Champ, you put the boys from Tinseltown really through the heebie-jeebies Wednesday night. How did it feel to play the one and really be on the trolley back in your hometown?
It was good.
Real good. That was great. This might be better. Sam Decker. Oh, no, he blows a tire going in for a layup at MSG. Off the face.
How does the square garden?
Yeah. But Sam Decker had some fun with it. He tweeted, "The floor monster caught me tonight. That's what happens when white guys get excited to try and dunk on somebody. Hashtag just shoot threes."
Smart, Sam.
We had a whole lot of air balls this past week. Joakim Noah got us started with a real nice one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Real nice. Rudy Gay, a game-winning attempt.
For the win.
No! Oh! It's off Kufus's head. Heads up. It would continue. Superstars also getting in on the airball fun. There's Russ. Oh, he's quite short.
At least he hit the bottom of the net.
Yeah.
Very bottom.
Tony Allen, not known as a shooter.
Right.
Thank you, Tess. Way right. Even LeBron at the free throw line coming up way short. Yeah.
Online.
Very short. Yeah, very short. And but Bleacher Report helping him out here, extending the net 3 feet.
Nice.
That's good.
That's a swish bomb. Look, perfect.
Yeah.
Count it.
Beautiful.
At number 1, it's official. A 3-1 finals lead is not safe. At Game 7, it comes Indians. JR flashback to June, trying to get this rally going. The rally happened, and LeBron was jogged after the tie game, but after the loss, well, here come the memers. Manager Terry Francona The crying
It's
Jordan.
so good.
There's Ricky Vaughn. That is some great.
Give him the memer, Ricky!
That's some great stuff. And then Jason Kipnis along with Steph Curry at the Anonymous Club. But Draymond Green had some fun. Man, 3-1 sucks. Just a straight up tweet.
It's like 10,000 retweets in 2 minutes.
Never take a 3-1 lead. Never take a
Ever.
3 lead. Make it 2-2, always. Give up that one game. All right, we got to kind of take a break here, but when we come back, Lee, your very solid play. Back with the starters, my least favorite segment, where we pick games, and I suck at it. 1-6 here in the month of November. Pacers Bucks is the game tonight. 3 of us are taking the Pacers. Sorry, Trey. Sorry, Tass. Lee, congrats
That was
on
a good
the
run.
win in advance, taking the Bucks. Where are we going for very solid play?
We're heading out to Phoenix, and we have our very first boomerang of the season. It comes from the Chief, Al Farouk Amino. Here it goes. The ball spins around, fizzes around the perimeter, back to the Chief for a swish bomb, actually, we call it now.
What do we
What do we
call
call
it?
A squish bomb.
No, we're not.
no.
No, we're not.
Here it is again.
That's a
Beautiful
typo.
stuff from Al Farouk and the Blazers. That's what I call a very solid play.
Yeah, keep zooming in there on Lee, because Lee, for the month of November, is growing a mustache, all for a good cause, not because
Yep.
he's crazy. For men's health here, guys, we're showing you the LeeMovember.com fundraising page. Search for Lee Ellis on Movember.com, trying to raise 10 G's.
Yeah.
Day 3 of this stash. Maybe
Yep.
we can get a close-up, JD. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
I'm still working on the actual framing of it. I need a couple more days till I can really see it growing out there.
Okay, we're just laying the foundation right now.
Yeah. It's,
Love this camera work.
That's weird. That is weird, man.
All right, now it's time for the thing we'd really like to squeeze in here. We couldn't find another spot in the show, so here it is. We wanted to show you this. Yeah, they're bumbling, they're stumbling, they're falling all over the
good
Spencer
rip,
Hawes,
good rip.
Give it up.
Here we go.
That's a nice
Dunk.
rip. 2-on-1.
No.
no.
Going the other way. Got numbers.
Here we go.
Miss a layup.
Batum
Give a
goes
left.
the
Oh.
turnover.
Nice
TJ
steal.
McConnell, what are you doing?
All right, this
nice
is the
pass.
one.
Oh,
What's going on here?
that was a wild one.
Tomorrow, guys, the Drop Podcast. We'll get it up as soon as possible, around 1 p.m. Eastern, so keep an eye on iTunes and Google Play. Hey, why don't you just take your arm hair and hold it up to your nose, and then you would have a mustache.
You wouldn't complain. This keeps you warm at night, I tell
Guys, tonight, TNT doubleheader, Celtics, Cavs, Thunder, Warriors. Just take your arm hair and put it up there.
ya.
Doug,
I can't,
arm hair
I can't.
mustache.
I'm an endangered species.
all right, you sure? Okay.
Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, shaving your hair always makes it thicker. That's what happened.
Embrace the day, people. Oh, my Doug's on.